but also this lounge music though. Here I go. Alright, everybody, welcome to Lomé, Togo. So, when I first came to Lomé, I tried to look up online places that I could go to, and there wasn't really that much information about interesting places to visit. And I don't know why that is, maybe because it's not visited as much as some other countries in West Africa, but I just thought I would make a short video about some of the places that I grew to love during my 3 months here. So the first off is Hotel Sarakawa, and I spent a lot of time at this hotel just because they have so many amenities and a beautiful view and just a very calm atmosphere in general. Lomé is quite calm, but this place I would use in the mornings. I would go for a run, and they have a path cleared out already that goes around the hotel. I would say it's about like 1 kilometer. So you could do a few of those and get a good exercise in. It's also the only place that has a Olympic size swimming pool. So I would come, run, swim, and then just, pack up, relax, and read my book. And it would be a great way to set my day and just reflect about what I'm gonna do next and listen to the birds. So yeah, that was my morning routine. Come, do exercise, and if I didn't exercise, I would just bring my laptop and try to do some work, because hotels are generally a good place to get a kind of cafe style working environment going. Get yourself some croissant, get yourself some hot chocolate, and just use that Wi-Fi and the people around you who are in meetings and all these things to motivate you. Hotel Sarakawa also had a buffet on Sunday, which is great, so I brought my family once. Just in general, there's a lot going on in hotels in Lomé for some reason, so definitely follow them on Facebook or Instagram, and you might find a bunch of events going down. The next hotel is Hotel de Ferrier, and this hotel is one of the tallest buildings in Lomé, I believe, and so you can really look out into the city if you go to the top. I also came here to do some work because there's just 1 week in between where I really had to crunch down and finish my thesis. So croissant and the hot chocolate became my brain food, and I just spent my mornings just focusing on that. Hotel de Ferrier was a great environment again to do work, and there are a lot of kind of business people there, so it's a little bit bougie. But it's a great place if you want to have meetings, either inside or outside. You could also go to the pool, and they have great pizza and great baobab sorbet or bisap sorbet. Hotel de Lac is on Lac Togo, and this view of this lake is just that became one of my favorite places to go to. Not necessarily just Hotel de Lac, but there are a lot of different ways to experience the lake. This is a little bit outside of Lomé. I would say it's 30 minutes outside of Lomé. But you can go and you can get a pirogue, which is these boats basically that someone could take you around the lake on. And this was my guide who took me around, and I would say it was about $4 to kind of go on a 30-minute ride, and you learn about what kind of for example, what kind of crustaceans they catch. You learn about the sacred forest and its cultural value and spiritual value to some of the peoples there. Another way that you could experience a lake is to go to a place called Champs de Lac. And basically that also requires taking a pirogue, but this time it was a motorized one. It wasn't one that someone took you across with in the same way as at Hotel de Lac. And so we went a group of people, and that boat, for example, had 20 people on it, and you go to this place, you could go have a picnic, and it's about 1,000 CFA per person, so that's a little bit less than $2 per person. You could bring your own food, and it's just great. You have hammocks everywhere, you could sit wherever you want, so everything is set up for you. besides you just bringing the food and the drinks. And you might be able to buy some too, but we decided to, like do a little barbecue and just bring our own food. And it's just such a chill place, and I genuinely have so much love for this lake. I even made a playlist on my Spotify called Chandres that's inspired by this beautiful, beautiful lake and this very beautiful day. So go check that out if you want to feel like you're having a picnic by a lake somewhere in Togo. I also just want to make sure I shout out the beach because Lomé is known for its palm-lined shores that go on for miles and miles, and it's super flat. You could go almost anywhere and just, if you see chairs there, sit down and grab a drink. And there's also restaurants you could go to like Robinson Plage. But yeah, great way to just gather with people. It's not the most calm of seas. It is the Atlantic Ocean, so just be careful when you're swimming. But generally, just a beautiful view and a beautiful place to gather with some homies. Next up, we have l'Institut Français, which is basically a kind of cultural center here in Lomé. When you go, make sure you have some form of identification so you could actually enter. And it's huge once you get inside. You can sit down on the grass, connect to Wi-Fi, do some work. You can go check out an art exhibition. For example, when I was there was a photography exhibition. And it was about the beach and the ocean as well, and it was so beautifully done. And it was basically about the community that the ocean brings together, about the culture that is surrounded by the ocean. And it was really cool because once you get there, actually there's a guide that comes and explains a little bit about the exhibition, walks you through it. And at the end, I actually got to meet the photographer, which was really nice as well. So definitely check them out on Facebook. They always post kind of if they have a show or an exhibition, and it ranges from so many things like visual arts to performance arts, comedy shows, just really great interactive stuff going on there. So I would again highly recommend. And also, if you have time, you can set up yourself by the restaurant, which is called Antovie Cantine, and it was really well priced. I think I got like a baguette with some ham and cheese inside for like $2, and some fresh bisap, which is basically sorrel for the people back home watching this. And I just set myself up under some trees and read my books again. If you're looking for somewhere to get gifts and crafts to bring back home, for example, I would definitely recommend Village Artisanal. This one I actually found online, so this one is quite well known in Lomé. You can just get some great pieces of art, some clothes, and woodwork. They just have everything here, to be honest. And it's very colorful and just a great way to kind of support people working in the art industry here. One of the many ways. So if you get a chance, check it out. This next one is really important to me because it's a historic site in which many of the people who came from what is now the north of Togo were brought to before they were sent over the Atlantic Ocean to become enslaved. And I just feel like coming from a place where the majority of people, myself included, come from African ancestry, especially from West Africa, it was really important for me to come see La Maison d'Esclaves and learn about some of the history. A lot of people know, for example, about this history in Ghana and Benin and Senegal, but not as much in Togo. Even some of the people here didn't really know much about it or where it was. But this is a little bit outside of Lomé in a place called Agbodrafo. And as you can see here, underneath the house, there's the entrance that the slaves would have to go through. They weren't allowed to enter through the main entrance. And underneath this house, they would stay for days and weeks and could not stand up. And they would have to eat here, sleep here. 100, 200 people sharing this space underneath this one house. And it's just completely wild to me that this was the reality for so many people, and it's just horrifying and terrifying and frightening to have all of that uncertainty and all of that pain. And it just reminds me of how important it is for us to remember, for us to never forget that this is our history and this must not be erased. This next place easily became one of my favorite places, definitely one of my favorite places in Togo, and probably one of my favorite places on my travels in general, which is called L'Association Les Chandres, and it is a place where they celebrate their culture and their history as well through art, and they bring artists together from all over the region and from other places in the world to celebrate through music and creativity. And they also go to the beach and to the lake to pick up, for example, trash and litter, and basically make it into these really cool artworks that you see on the wall. And they have a little library as well, just complete good vibes. And I loved the family that ran this place, a very artistic family who also walked me over here. This place is very close to La Maison d'Esclave, so the daughter actually walked me to La Maison d'Esclave as well. And it's just a beautiful place to feel inspired and to, really feel at one with yourself and the creative energy around you. So I ended up spending a whole day here, even though I was planning only to come for just a little bit, because I love this so much. Speaking of places that are just full of creative energy and incredible people, this is Adepoma, and this is Ben who runs Adepoma, which is basically a humanitarian and cultural center organization in Lomé, and they do incredible work in their community and within themselves in terms of their artistic practices and crafts. And honestly, I learned so much from them. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that this was such a special place to me while I was in Lomé. I would go there almost every week to just learn the basics, because it's honestly such a very difficult task to learn these instruments. But they were gracious enough to share their wisdom with me, and it was just such a great space to be around people who are excited to get creative and try new things in terms of dance and music and all these things. So that's something I really was looking for when I was traveling to Lomé, and just during this time in my life, and was really glad I could stumble upon Adepoma. One of the ways that they sustain the organization is by performance. So if you do get a chance to check out some of their shows, I would highly recommend it. They put in so much effort into, again, giving just excellence in terms of all that they do for the community and for their crafts. So 100% follow them on Facebook. Come true if you ever come to Lomé and see what they do, because it's really a special place. Last thing I want to shout out is Nightlife, and just places you could go to for good music in general. And this one is one of the places, Le Galion, and they have live music on Fridays. Another place is Le Rooftop if you're looking for more like a DJ scene. And they're really good about COVID restrictions as well, and putting your mask on. So Nightlife, again, kind of limited in times of COVID, but these are two places. Also, La Cabane has live music almost every night. I don't have footage, but would also recommend them. And La Villa, which I didn't get to visit, but is also a place. They're all kind of on the same street, so you get to the street and you get to pop off, basically. Super fun. Finally, there's this spa and hotel. I don't really treat myself like that often, but they had a discount, and there's a little bit of miscommunication around the discount, but thankfully we got the discount anyway at the end. And this is a place you could go to called Le Patio if you're looking to get a massage, get facials, get wax, whatever you may need. They got what you please. So yeah, check them out. This is all I got for you for now, but generally speaking, there's so much to do in this country and in this city, and I know I only really got to barely scratch the surface, so I would definitely recommend coming, exploring, and I hope that this video was useful for somebody somewhere, somehow. Lomé has such a great vibe, such great energy. The people are very nice. You probably wouldn't know much about Lomé comparing to other cities in West Africa, but if you're in the region, I would definitely recommend coming to visit Togo, because it's special, special, special. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.